Hey y'all, welcome to my channel 773 Oracle and Tarot. It's your girl Shy Town Ronnie. Not an unboxing, but an unwrapping. Okay. Yeah. To my returning viewers, hey babies, thank you for the love and support and the encouragement. If you're new to the channel, hey, welcome. I'd love to have you as part of my vibe tribe, part of my little tarot bites. And I love doing what I do, and I would love to do it for a broader audience, and I can only do that with your help. If you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, liking the video, leave me some commentary, hit the notification bell. All of those things are absolutely free. All of those things take less than a second, and all those things help with good karma. Okay, all that out of the way. Let's get into it. So, it is Sunday, April 28th, and it is about 6 p.m. here in Chicago, and I got a package in the mail on Friday. And, I wanted to give an insight to my viewers to the things that I read. Yeah, the things that I read on my off time and things of that nature. I do love doing my readings. I do love attempting to connect with divine source and giving an overall message. And I take that very seriously. It may come off, really flagrant, but it is what it just is what the fuck it is. But I started this channel because I strictly wanted to help. And with that being said, when you put yourself in that position of wanting to help, you have a responsibility. And so therefore, I don't stop learning because, people don't stop learning. We're all here, to live in this human experience, and we are all on different levels. And I'm just trying to, trying to be able to reach everybody at wherever they may be at any given point. So with that being said, I do a lot of reading, and I'm on a budget like everybody else. Shit, it's 2024, baby. This economy out here ain't no joke. So part of that is I love to go onto this website. It's called thriftbooks.com. And babies, let me tell you, it is always Christmas whenever thriftbooks.com comes through. So we're going to open this package, and I'm going to show you what I got into, okay? I got some scissors. Babies, the last time I did an unboxing, I used some tweezers. Honey, the comments were filled with the fact that I used my tweezers. Like, people were like, oh, I use my tweezers too. They didn't say shit about the content, but they were paying attention to them tweezers, right? So here we go. Okay. All right. Right off the bat, I've got this book. It's called Reframing. And this is Neuro-Linguistic Programming and Transformation of Meaning. All right. So let me get into this real fast. So Neuro-Linguistic Programming, it uses perceptual, behavioral, communication techniques to help make it easier for people to change their thoughts and their actions. So neuro-linguistic programming, it relies on language processing, and this was developed. Neuro-linguistic program was developed by this guy named Richard Bandler and John Grinder, and they believe it was possible to identify the patterns of thoughts and behaviors of successful people and to teach them, teach those patterns to other people, and it's, and again, you hear me say that there is not a thought without a word or a word without a thought, and the way people speak, it gives you an insight to how they think. And if you could, if you can make people deliberately choose their words to get their concepts across in a fashion that not just benefits them, but the overall you making some progress. Let me say this. Like, for instance, like, I'm very, very judicious on the words that I use. Like, for instance, I rarely ever say good morning. You know, there's nothing good about morning. And I know that, the mourning is about, the passing of somebody, and the morning is for the day. I know that, but I cannot, but the two, they sound too much alike. And so therefore, like, I'm like, have a great day, good rising, things of that nature. I don't say good morning. I also tell you what I don't say. I don't say, have a good weekend. Think about it. You know, weekend, the weekend end. And for me, it's like you give 5 days of your best, and you're left with the weakened portion of what's left. I don't like that. I'm like, have a great 2 days of rejuvenation and relaxation. I'm just very judicious about that. And I slip up, and shit, I'm only human. I throw these cards down, but it's the reason why, like, I go out and find materials that will help me on my little journey. So here's this book. It's called Reframing, and you can see $3.99. All right. Now here we go. Mr. Brent Phillips, where science meets spirits. Now let me just say this. I personally feel that when science meets spirit, that's magic. I think that's where the magic happens. And with this book in particular, with Mr. Brent Phillips, um, let me this book right here, where science meets spirit, it's the first book to present a rational, a scientific, step-by-step process for working within our subconscious mind to experience, changes, some, instant healing, or to create a mindset of financial abundance, so, where we can go in and change our mindset so that we can enjoy fulfilling and loving relationships. This book is, it's the first book that takes, like, instant healing and spirituality out of the realms of mysticism and psychics, and make miracles accessible and understandable to the mainstream. And it was written by this dude, Brent Phillips. Brent is a pastor and a Bible teacher. Brent Phillips, this dude is no stranger to adversity. He was kicked out of his home by his father, and Brent and his mother and his brother, they went through life living day to day on faith, believing that, believing God was going to provide, for their food and their shelter, and as he suffered childhood asthma, and when he was a child, he could barely walk, let alone run. And but him and his family, they stood by faith. And there's that passage in the Bible, Isaiah 40, 31, and it reads, run and not be weary. And that's what Brent based his life on. Brent experienced the fulfillment of that promise when in high school he broke a record in track. So he studied, like, software engineering at Rand Africans University in South Africa, and he owned his own development company before moving to the United States in 2002, where he was ordained. And Brent, he still continues to use his technological skills, as an advisor to many companies, and through the Never Just Exist ministry, the gospel is reaching, his gospel is reaching across the globe, through his blogs and his teaching, and his ministry. He now lives in Houston, and he's got a beautiful wife, and they got, they got some kids. So now in this one right here, oh gosh, here, let me pull this out. Okay, it was like A Course in Miracles Made Easy. Okay. So yeah, this was written by Alan Conan. So the actual Course of Miracles, um, that is it consists of 3 books, 669 pages of text, and then there's a 488-page workbook, for students. And then if you want to become a teacher of A Course of Miracle, there's a 92-page manual for teachers, and there's an order in which students choose to use the books and the ways in which they study them, depending on their particular needs, or what preferences they have. Um, A Course in Miracle is very Christian based, but the course deals with universal spiritual themes, and it emphasizes that it's not that is not but one version, of divine source. There is a universal curriculum, if you will, and the goal for A Course of Miracle is to train us to listen to, they use the word God. I use source or divine wisdom or infinite intelligence, or the Holy Spirit. You know, it's an extension of, the God mind, to serve as our inner guide. And the Course of Miracles, it wants to help us so that we can allow that divine source to direct our thoughts, telling us exactly what to do and how to direct all of our efforts, to be truly effective. We have to learn to rely on our own internal teachers, which is, I feel, is our instinct, which, I always say is a direct link to the divine source, rather than, looking for help outside of ourselves. We are guided to discover our own God-given guidance system. And so, this course, A Course in Miracle Made Easy, I'm going to go through this book, and if I like it, I will take the course. But, all of these things, these books in which I get, these books that I got, the more I know, the more I can help, help spreading knowledge to help maybe, help the collective look at situations that they may be going through in a different way, so it is not so overwhelming. The more that I know to empower you all, so that whatever you're facing, you all will walk away from me knowing that you've got what it takes to get through it. The better of a tarot and oracle card reader I feel I can become. A lot of people take this for entertainment purposes, and of course, I do want to be entertaining, but again, at the end of the day, I really do want you all to walk away with what you need in order to help. So yeah. So neuro-linguistic programming, where science meets spirits, and A Course in Miracle. Yeah, that's what came in the mail today. And collective, I want to remind you that I want to talk about the word diet. It's not just what you eat. A diet is also what you, and when I say consume, again, not physically eating, but what you allow in. We got to check our diet. What kind of music are you listening to? What kind of music are you all listening to? You know, when you hear the lyrics of some of the shit that's coming out here for music, that's called music nowadays, you know, is it really a sense of empowerment, or is it just downplaying what's going down around us and supplementing with this, like, I'm a bad bitch attitude? You know, is that what it's doing? Because at the end of the day, that bad bitch attitude ain't good. It's not a supplement for what you really need. It doesn't. It's very distracting from the work. What are you watching on TV? Don't get me wrong. I love bullshit TV like everybody else. But are y'all taking a break? Are you watching something uplifting? Are you watching something empowering? What are you reading? What are you reading? What are you putting inside? What are you digesting? You know, you ain't gotta say shit to me. I just want to make you aware that, like, you know, a healthy diet is going to come out in your skin, in your hair, in your energy levels. The same thing with like that metaphorical diet. What you listen to, what you read, what you watch, all of that is going to translate into your life, your world, and your affairs. And you want to digest things that will help you. In Kabbalah they talk about expanding the vessel. You all are the vessel. And when they mean by expanding, being open to receiving more knowledge, is what you all consuming, is that expanding the knowledge, or is that keeping it more myopic and more narrow, so that you all are on this constant cycle of just misery? Just some shit to ponder. Yeah. I hope y'all have a healthy diet. I hope y'all do. All right, my little terabytes. I just wanted to share this shit with you. And tomorrow's Monday, so I got your divine uploads, your emotional, spiritual uploads forecast coming. And so that is that. All right, my babies. Please do all the things for me. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave me some commentary. Hit that notification bell so when I upload, y'all are the first ones to get them. And as always, my little terabytes, stay blessed, babies.